Were crossed.
At that time, from what we discussed, it was his opportunity to let Kayla know, like, how he was going to move forward in the process. So in that moment.
So while he and Kayla were having a conversation.
Hey guys, and welcome to Little Blackbird 91. We're giving you guys a review on Ready to Love Reunion. And I've titled this video, Randall was supposed to let Kayla know her time was up, apparently. But you know the matter thing about this is, when you are full of confusion, you promote confusion. When you are not sure, you promote unsurety. When you're not assured, you promote insecurity. And that's what we see with Randall Kayla situation. He was supposed to let Kayla know her time was up, apparently, according to Jamala, which Kayla's face told us that was not what was meant to be happening. And I think what the reality of this is, the lack of clarity here and inability to have a clear picture in terms of what was meant to happen at the house is really down to Randall. You set the pace, you set the temperature, you set the course and the track, and you determine the time and the length of that particular race. What I mean by that is you are in control of the dynamics that are happening here. We must be able to, put some accountability on Randall here. And, I spoke about Jamala all season. I spoke about Kayla all season. But the reality is Randall promotes confusion because he's not sure about any of them. And his own behavior promotes the confusion that's happening right here. But let's talk a little bit more about that. First and foremost, if you're new to the channel, like it, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for notification on the uploads. We appreciate you guys. Stay locked and stay loaded. And for those of you who are returnees, you already know what it is, baby. You got the minerals. You got the minerals. Stay hydrated because the streets out there are hot. Listen. You know me, I like to talk about real things. Men are in control of dynamics when it comes to relationship and how they play out. Either they got to exit early, or they got to set pace, or let people know there's boundaries within the relationship. I'm not saying women don't have an aspect to play in this. They do. But in this particular aspect, Randall had more than one connection. He had Jamala, he had Kayla, he also had Trinika at one point, right? And it was up to him to set the precedence in terms of how they all interact with one another. Precisely Jamala. Okay? Now, Jamala, yes, we know it's a little bit wild sometimes. And, I already said that Randall should run away from Jamala. I said all those things. But the reality is, Randall has not set pace. He's not determined what's supposed to be happening. And now we've got a whole conversation. Jamala saying that he was going to the house to let Kayla know what time it was.
What boundaries were crossed?
At that time, from what we discussed, it was his opportunity to let Kayla know, like, how he was going to move forward in the process. So in that moment.
So while he and Kayla were having a conversation, you came.
So as you heard her correctly, listen, as she said, he was supposed to be there to let Kayla know what time it was, right? And well, pretty much by the end of it, we did see him let Kayla know what time it was. I mean, well, later on after that, he let her know at the dinner that he wasn't going to pursue Kayla anymore and was going to move forward with Jamala. Well, we also know from having Trinika at her particular interview that, that the words coming from Jamala was that she heard Randall say to her, he loves her. Now, we'll press Randall on this particular situation when he comes onto the show. But the reality is, he set the pace, right? The reality is, if that wasn't the case, if he wasn't going there to let Kayla know what time it was, he has to make it directly clear to Jamala, that's not what I'm coming to do. Okay? And if you can't do that, then you take accountability for not doing that and creating the confusion you see. And there is confusion. And I've been there. I spoke about this, I spoke about this with my team as well. I said about certain things that happened on the tour, not necessarily bad, but what could have done better. I had to take accountability because I was like, okay, I didn't promote the clarity that was needed so people knew exactly where they stood and what they were meant to be doing, which would have made the whole project that much smoother. You are accountable. You cannot get away from that. And so, yes, Randall coming there to let Kayla know if that's the truth or not the truth, it doesn't really matter. What matters is if he had set the place and was clear, and the precedence was clear what he was doing. Let's say he was meant to let Kayla down gently, okay? We can talk about Jamala a little bit later on. Then, you have to give him the time to do so, Jamala. and then he goes and lets her down. If it was a lie and he wasn't meant to let Kayla know, and it was actually he was still meant to be at the house to actually explore his options, you should have been very, very clear about that. That way, Jamala, when if she decides to tell a quote unquote lie, you can come real strong and be, hey, I told you at X point, and I told you I'm coming to the house to do this, this, and this. You said this, this, and this. I made myself exquisitely clear, and you agreed that this is what I'm coming to do. But if Randall can't do that, it means more than likely the conversation was wish-wash, and you allowed it to go in a particular direction that it didn't need to go into, right? You allowed it to go into where it needed to go to. So yes, I'm talking about Randall now. You're supposed to let Kayla know that her time was up, apparently. But if you don't control the narrative, if you don't let people know where they stand in position with you, you are going to promote confusion. And we'll talk about this on Dark Arts as well, how this can also be a manipulative piece. Well, I'm not saying it actually is in this case, but how it could be. But anyway, listen, let me know your thoughts, guys. Sorry, I got a cold on my nose, so you can hear it in my voice. Don't forget, if you guys are interested in talking about TV shows, you want to have discussion about Love is Blind, Ready to Love, Married at First Sight, 90 Day Fiancé, all them kind of things, then by all means, guys, please, look, jump on the Patreon, get involved with the Discord. There's quite a few of us already on there, already discussing the shows and having fun in the background. So if you miss out on some of those personal jokes, I can't be blamed. But I appreciate you guys. Stay locked, stay loaded. We'll see you again very, very soon. Much love and appreciation. And you already know